Week 8 predictions. You were probably expecting me and Isaiah both to be here on your screen. It's just me this week. He's away for the weekend. I'm going to get all these right. Game 1, we have the Texans taking on the Panthers. And the Panthers, as we've said every single week, they're not a good football team. Bryce Young, showing marginal improvement here and there. Adam Thielen has been phenomenal this season, but overall, not a very talented football team. And the Texans with a week of rest, with how good CJ Stroud has been, Tank Dell is going to be back on the field for them. The Texans are getting a win in Carolina this week. After that, we have the Rams taking on the Cowboys, and the Rams could be sneaky competitive with Dallas. I love Puka Nacua. Cooper Kupp is back in that lineup. Matt Stafford has been dealing this season. Sean McVay has showed us that he's still a very good head coach, but the one thing the Rams don't have going for them is their offensive line is not all that great. Their defense has not been as good as in years past, and the Dallas defense has been cooking this season in spite of some of Dallas's offensive struggles. So I fully expect the Cowboys to win this one, although I think it could get competitive with some of the talent the Rams have on offense. Third game this week. I know I was wrong, Vikings fans. I was horribly wrong about them. I thought they stood no chance against the 49ers. Isaiah was ecstatic over the fact that they beat the 49ers. He had been saying it for weeks. And the Packers are horrible. Their offense has not been good this season. They haven't been able to put things together with Jordan Love, with Matt LaFleur as the head coach and OC. Young receivers, they just aren't meshing. They aren't putting it together. Maybe in the future, if the Packers keep things going with the current staff and current roster they have, maybe they keep meshing. This season, it's not working. Vikings are getting a win, somehow improving to 4-4 after a bad 1-4 start. After that, we have the Saints and Colts, and the Colts were in an absolute barn burner last week. They went toe-to-toe with the Browns, lit up a Browns defense that is bad. Probably should have I'm not going to say they should have won because Myles Garrett played phenomenal and pieces of the Browns defense did get points on the board for them, but there were some questionable calls, and I don't think that's going to happen this week against the Saints. Derek Carr has been struggling. Gardner Minshew is playing much better than Derek Carr is right now, and the Colts get a win at home against the Saints. Now we have the Dolphins playing the Patriots, and when the Patriots have been good in years past, they still lost to their division rival and the Dolphins. Now, the Dolphins are the better team. They're the team with the better quarterback. They're the team with the better receivers. I don't know if I'd say they have the better defense, but their offense is significantly better than the Patriots, and they're a significantly better team than the Patriots. I fully expect, given these two teams' histories against each other, the Dolphins to win this game, to have a big game. With Raheem Mostert, Jalen Waddle, Tyreek Hill, everyone's going to eat this week, improving the Dolphins' record to 6-2. The Patriots will be sitting at 2-6. Jets, Giants. I'm wearing a Jason Pierre-Paul jersey this week, number 90. Had to throw it back a little bit. Giants, they have Tyrod Taylor for the third week in a row. Offense really took a step forward last week, even though the second half for the Giants and Commanders was awful. I would say they go into, but it's the home stadium for both, technically a home game for the Giants. I think with this game, the Giants get a win. Their offense is only going to keep getting better with Tyrod Taylor building more comfortability with those offensive pieces. They've been working Jalen Hyatt into the offense. Saquon Barkley has been getting better every single week. The offensive line building some chemistry. It'll only keep getting healthier. I know the Jets defense is phenomenal, and they took down Josh Allen, and they've looked great this season. But the Giants, New York rival, Giants have the better quarterback. Tyrod Taylor's better than Zach Wilson. I expect the Giants to beat the Jets. Steelers, Jaguars. Great win for the Steelers last week against the Rams. Defense kept them in that game. And they're at home against the Jaguars. A favorable matchup with the Jaguars offense. I think it's been a little bit understated that they've been disappointing this season. Trevor Lawrence has one game over 300 yards when he has a bunch of weapons to throw to. Calvin Ridley, they haven't really been able to get him the ball. Christian Kirk has been eating. They have Evan Ingram. Travis Etienne has been great, but also only has one game over 100 yards rushing this year. The Jaguars offense, they're 5-2, but I think their record overstates a little bit how good they've been. Offense, to me, I don't know if anyone else, I expected more out of them this season. And with the Steelers defense, they've been great, and the offense is improving. So I think this is a game we could see the Steelers win at home with how good their defense is. And You know what? For the sake of this video, I'm going to predict that. I didn't think I was going to go with that, but I'm going to go with that. I feel good about their defense at home. Offense showed a tiny smidge of improvement last week, and I think the Jaguars fall to 5-3, and the Steelers find themselves at 5-2 right there with the Ravens in the AFC North. Falcons, Titans. I mean, they're signaling tank mode. They just traded away Kevin Byard. Derrick Henry's not gone yet. DeAndre Hopkins is not gone yet, but they're also starting a rookie quarterback against the Falcons, who have really been a weird team with some of the decisions and how they've kind of operated, in my opinion at least. Their offense this season, Desmond Ridder has been good in spots, has also been really bad in spots. Falcons, more talent offensively, much more talent offensively. I expect the Falcons to win. Eagles, Commanders. What do I have to say? The Commanders got smoked by the Giants last week. They're not going to be smoking the Eagles. The Giants front seven is not nearly as talented as the Eagles front seven. Sam Howell, most sacked quarterback in the NFL right now. That is going to continue. Hassan Reddick, Jalen Carter, they're going to continue to eat. AJ Brown may drop 150. I understand Jalen Hurts may be a little banged up, but that's not going to matter in this one. Eagles get a win. Seahawks, Browns. I did not expect the Browns to have the same record as the Seahawks 7 weeks into the season, whatever we are, 7 weeks into the season. I thought the Browns are going to be horrible, and their offense, not good. Seahawks offense also has been a little underwhelming from what I expected. Geno Smith has not looked quite as good as he looked last season throwing the ball. Offensive passing attack has not looked quite as electric as I thought it would be with the addition of JSN, but they're playing the Browns, who's starting PJ Walker at quarterback, and the Seahawks defense with Devon Witherspoon is getting better, much better than it was last season. The game's at home in Seattle, a big home field advantage. I think Geno Smith is going to look good this week. DK Metcalf is back on the field. Kenneth Walker has been doing his thing. Zach Charbonnet as the backup will be back there. I expect the Seahawks to win. Ravens, Cardinals. Kyler Murray may be back this week. I don't really expect it. I don't think it'd be smart to trot him back onto the field versus the Ravens unless you just want him to get injured again. The Cardinals don't have the firepower to keep up with that Ravens offense. The Ravens defense has been greatly understated how good that defense has been in spite of several key injuries this year. Lamar Jackson doing his thing. Should be an easy win for the Ravens. Chiefs, Broncos. The Chiefs were toying with the Broncos last time they played them, and this week they're going to take the game seriously, end the game in the first half. It's going to be 28. I'll give the Broncos 7. 28-7 in the first half. Game probably ends 38-14 in the Chiefs' favor. Chiefs win this game against the Broncos in Denver. Bengals, 49ers. And this is one that I'm going to get some 49ers fans upset. 49ers, you have Brock Purdy not playing this week due to concussion. Sam Darnold trotting out onto the field with you. Offense has looked to struggle a little bit. Defense showed some weakness last week against the Vikings. And on the Bengals side of things, coming fresh off a bye, Joe Burrow getting more healthy every week. Same thing with T. Higgins. They've looked better every single week after another really bad start. A start that had me thinking they wouldn't even be a playoff team this season. I think the Bengals head into San Francisco and give the 49ers a loss. The 49ers are going to be 5-3. Bengals are going to improve to 4-3, competing for a playoff spot in that AFC. That's how I see it going. And I'm probably going to get yelled at by 49ers fans if we have any watching this video in the comments. Last game, we have the Bears versus the Chargers, and it didn't happen last week. I said last week would be the game that gets Brandon Staley fired, and his defense is bad. It is the second worst in the NFL in yards allowed per game, and they're going to continue to be bad. They're playing a Division II quarterback in Tyson Bagent, who just picked up a win last week and has looked much better than expected in the absence of Justin Fields. He has been solid. And I think the Bears win this game. The Chargers defense is bad. Roshan Johnson is going to be back there with Donta Foreman. And I think this is, if the Chargers lose this game and Brandon Staley is not fired, I don't know what to say anymore. I mean, you lose to the Bears, who are 2-5, are going to probably still have a top 7 draft pick, even if they beat the Chargers in this one. You're going to fall to 2-5 yourself. You have Justin Herbert, a $200 million quarterback. Your offense has been putting up numbers, and you lose to the Bears. Brandon Staley gets fired this week. Chargers lose this week, and that's not our last game. I might have said that's our last game, but we still have Monday Night Football, which is the Lions and the Raiders. And the Raiders just lost to a team we just talked about in the Bears. Lions also just got embarrassed by the Ravens. They're going to win this week. They got embarrassed by the Ravens. They're not going to follow that up with another bad loss to the Raiders. They're 5-2. They're a very good team. Offense, very talented. Jared Goff, solid quarterback, not a special quarterback like Lamar Jackson, but we've seen this team continue to grow and grow and grow. And after a tough loss, I think they, especially in home, Jared Goff in a dome, special quarterback, they get a win against the Raiders, improving to 6-2 atop the NFC North. And that has been the predictions for today. If you want to use our code Thicc on Underdog Fantasy for a best ball draft, for pick'ems, feel free to do that. Help support the channel, subscribe, like the video, and I will see you in the next one.